Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Medicom MAFEX Marvel Comics Daredevil, and oh man, we have been waiting for this for so long. When they first made Spider-Man, like the original one way back in the day, everyone was like, dude, we need Daredevil on this. We need this company to make Daredevil because of how amazing, no pun intended, that Spider-Man is. And Medicom, you beautiful, beautiful bastards. You've done it. You've nailed it. You've made the perfect Daredevil figure, in my opinion. Because I know some people were worried that he was a little bit, gangly, that he wasn't super, that he was a little more on the leaner side than, more of an athletic build. But that's not an issue. This figure is the exact same way, in my opinion, as the Captain America was. Where the promo images looked okay. They looked all right. Definitely worth getting based off the promotional pictures, but I felt like there was going to be a lot of things that I was going to paint, that I was going to change, and all these things like I thought with Captain America. And truly, all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of dark red around the eyes, because as you can see on here, this figure has an insane amount of shading. He looks beautiful, which we'll get into here in a moment with the detail. But let's first go ahead and take a look at what Matt comes with. So as you can see on him right now, he has this stoic head, which looks really good. It actually has a little bit of a smirk to it. Like when you catch it in the right lighting, it's got a little bit of a cocky smirk, and I kind of like that. He also has a pair of fists, which these look good. They have like a little bit of seam lines going on, to give them more of a glove feel as focus, come on. More of a glove feel as opposed to just like a straight up just red hand, which is nice. So that's really good. And then he also has on his side here, you can see his holster sheath thing for his billy clubs, which looks great. And I'll show you guys how these interchange here in just a moment, but he's got both of them in this one. And then as for hands, he has a pair of relaxed hands, which these also have shading. They have a little bit of a darker red shading on the gloves, which look really good. I love this. It's got the seam lines going on. These look like gloves and not just hands, which is really cool. Same thing applies to the open, flat, karate chop hands, or getting ready to put his hands on a ledge to jump off sort of thing going on. These look great as well. He's got a pair of open hands, which are kind of like if he was mid-throw of the billy clubs, or if he was grabbing somebody, or just flying through the air, what have you. We've got more of the angry grip hands, which these are really nice. I like these. I'm not exactly sure what you'd use these for. Maybe just gripping a criminal so you can knee him or headbutt him or something, or just losing his marbles, because he comes with a couple of screaming heads, which I'll show in just a second. But then he, of course, comes with two hands, which these billy clubs, be careful when you're putting these in his hands, because it is red, red hands, white billy clubs. I did get a little bit of paint rub on these, so that's why I'm not taking them out currently. But for putting this one in that doesn't have like the sort of grip to the end of it, like the Wii, safety strap on there, just slide it in this way so you have, little resistance and less area to work with, whereas this one you have to slide it all the way down. Just, do it gingerly, be careful. You don't want to get just a huge red streak across this. And speaking of the billy clubs, we also have the interchangeable empty billy club holder, which as you can see, it has a ball joint on here. So the way that it works is I found the best way to do it, because you don't want to start pulling out on it from here. You don't want it to start to stress it or anything, but turn it, because it is, on a ball, so it is able to rotate. You just pop it out like so. It's just a hole right there, and then you just put the empty one in like so, and there you go. And then that way, whenever you're posing him, you can have it be that way or that way, whatever you want to do. He also has one that just has one billy club missing, which is really cool. This is a nice attention to detail, because sometimes Matt just uses the one billy club, so this is really cool. Daredevil wouldn't be Daredevil without having his billy clubs that have the wire, so he can have them, being thrown across, whacking a criminal in the head, or using them to get from building to building, which I was thinking, originally I completely forgot that it comes with the other one, but I was like, yeah, this is perfect for that. But we also get one that has a hook on it, which is really cool. I love this. This is more of a less erect version of the other billy club. So yeah, you can get this to like hook onto something, so he can go full Adam West and Burt Ward and go up the side of a building, or he can, swing around like Spider-Man. He also comes with a gritting teeth angry head, which looks really good. I love how this looks. The only thing that I'm going to change on this figure is the head sculpts, because I like them, but the eyes just get so lost. Like, there's shading going on the forehead, but it's just not, like, I'm going to put a little bit of dark red just around, like, underneath where the eyebrow is and maybe underneath, like, the eye itself, just to make the eyes pop, because when you get it, like, back here, if I can get it to focus, when you get it back here, it's just kind of lost, you know? And I like for his eyes to pop a little bit more, because, like, look at his chest right now, you know? Like, that pops, and it looks good. But you can get him even angrier with this alternate Screaming Head, which looks really good. I almost want to buy a second Daredevil, because I almost did, actually, like, originally when I put it up for pre-order. But I might get a second one and, like, bloody this up and make it all, you know, like, just, he's been through a long night. We already started to look at the detail on the figure, but taking a look at the detail, he's got so much shading, so much, and I love it, because the promotional pictures just did not do it justice. Like I was saying, the Captain America, you know, he also was not done justice for those pictures, but my God, this figure looks amazing. He's got the dark red throughout, the light red throughout. All of it looks so good. I wish they had done just a little bit more on the head sculpt. That would have taken this figure from a almost perfect to just straight up perfect. There is one other quote-unquote issue that is kind of an issue, but kind of not. Depends on your display. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute when we get to the size comparisons. But the detail on this guy is fantastic. It's just pretty much a red suit, but he's got the, you know, the boots down here, if this would focus. He's got the boots down here, not with the fur. There we go. All right. So yeah, it's got the little seam line going on down there, which looks really good. It also plays very well into his ankle joint as well, which I love that, because you can kind of, if it'll focus, for the love of God. There you go. So you can see it actually kind of plays into the ankle joint and makes it look like it's all one cohesive piece, which is really cool. It's a nice little trick that they did there. I really like that. He's got the, you know, the light red on here. The only color difference where there is no red, other than his billy clubs, is the middle of the belt where it is black. And then as for articulation, he's got the, you know, double neck, so you can get his head looking up all the way. He can go all the way down. He can rotate at both the head and the neck, which looks great. His arms go out that far. Butterfly joint, which can get his arm to go all the way across. Can go all the way back. He's got the rotation at the bicep here, double jointed elbows, you know, signature MAFEX wrist pegs. But his torso, it actually is a double ball peg in his lower torso, which is so awesome because it gives you a hell of a lot more range. So, using both of his joints, they go that far forward, and that far back. He's got the tilt and the rotation up here, tilt rotation, you know, at the waist as well. His legs go out this far on this side. If you don't move the billy club holster thing sheath, it only goes out that far, but thankfully it is articulated, so you can move it a little bit to get it to go out all the way. So, and then you just kind of push it back into place, and it's a little out of place. It's not, you know, too bad to where it's like, it has to be, you know, like this to where it looks ugly or anything. It looks great. So, and it's realistic, you know. His legs go that far forward. He has double jointed knees that go back all the way, no problem. Signature ankles for Medicom, you know, back, forward, rotate, all that good stuff. And then, of course, toe joint. And now on to some size comparisons. Here he is next to the MAFEX Comic Color Spider-Man, and then the MAFEX Captain America, the comic Captain America, which I did repaint the forehead, so you guys can see what I was talking about with that. And in my opinion, I think it looks a lot better for my personal display. I love how these three look together. The only thing that, like I was talking about, the only issue that I have with this figure, aside from wishing there was darker red around the eyes, is his height. And the only reason I have that issue is because Captain America is supposed to be like 6'2", and Matt's supposed to be like 6 foot or 6'1", and Matt is a lot taller. I'm not sure why that is. Like, Cap's legs are a little bit spread right now, but his legs are just a lot longer, and I don't know why that is. It's not necessarily a big deal, because who's really going to have their Medicom, you know, MAFEX stuff like this in just vanilla poses? So it's really not a big deal. It's not like the old Suicide Squad stuff from MAFEX where it was like one was 7 inches tall, one was 5. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not a big deal. It's just something to point out. But if you want this figure to finally have the perfect Legends figure, then you can do so. His head's a little bit smaller, but I love the build of this MAFEX figure compared to the VHS one. Like, obviously, I should probably move this real quick, but the shoulders are just the issue on the VHS Daredevil and that Renew Your Vows body, because it just makes him look smaller. I love the VHS figure, by the way. That figure is immaculate. I love it. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. I tried switching out his holster, but I kind of might change it back because I don't know how I feel about it. And then here he is next to the Legends Renew Your Vows body Spider-Man, and then the She-Hulk from the Retro Iron Man wave. I love how this Matt and Jen look together. They look fantastic. I love it. This Spider-Man doesn't really work, in my opinion. I think that if you are going to have this Matt be in your Legends display, which I think you easily can, no problem. I think that it is a perfect figure to put in your Legends display. I think that you really need to go with the MAFEX Spider-Man as well, because if you're going for like the most articulated while also being like the best representation of the character, I think that this Spider-Man and this Daredevil are your go-tos. And height-wise, they fit with each other, and they fit within the Legends line perfectly. Overall, I love this figure. Medicom, you guys are freaking killing it. This Matt is perfect. The only thing, like I said, some people might be bugged out by the height, but you're going to be posing him around. It's not really that big of a deal. He fits in with your MAFEX and your Legends, so in my opinion, I think that's perfect. And then definitely putting the darker red around the eyes to make the eyes pop a little more, because the symbol pops really well on the chest, but then his eyes are kind of lost on it, which some people might like. Some people, might be a little iffy on it, but I like for his eyes and his symbol to pop. That's just me, though. So, like I said with the Captain America, might not be everybody's preference, but it's mine, so I'm going to do it to my figure because it's my figure and it makes me happy within my collection. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.